good afternoon, or good morning, whatever the time may be where you are, and welcome to the Book Dialogue. My name is Sarah.
And my name is Rebecca. I am glad that you are joining us today because we have a special celebration. Helen Hoyt, poet extraordinaire, who was born in 1887, has come and been part of our day today. Sarah, do you recall a few months ago that we read this poem by Helen Hoyt? Annunciation. It started out with life. The great life came unto me. He of old ages, the eternal, the owner of all, came, and his word was for me, calling my name. And how we really appreciated that poem.
Yes, I remember it very, very well. At the time, she was fairly new to me. I hadn't read a lot of her work, but the way that she shaped her thoughts and the way that she engaged and the way she reached out and really struck my heart was really poignant. And you have some more interesting things to share.
Well, here's the good news. After that poem recitation was published, I heard from Helen Hoyt's granddaughter, and I received a special collection. It's a book entitled A Girl in the City by Helen Hoyt. And this is what the granddaughter wrote me. Rebecca, I know my grandmother would love for you to have one of her poetry books. She would also appreciate that you have kept her name and writings alive. Love, Lulii. I am so happy that we can share this today because I want you to read the introduction. This is a very special book. It was published in 1970, but the introduction was, go ahead, Sarah.
The introductory note in the publish of this book, these poems were written by the author during the years 1912 to 1919, when she was living in or near Chicago. Most of them have appeared in magazines or anthologies, but have not been included in the author's published volumes. So we have the remarkable opportunity to share with you things that you may not necessarily have had opportunity to read. So what a privilege.
I'm thrilled. I want to open the book up to a special poem, and it's called Ellis Park. Now, you have to understand that this was a young girl living in Chicago or near Chicago at the time. Now, when I was young, I left northern Manitoba and I lived in Edmonton, and it was my first city. And I would go by a park when I went back and forth from university. There was a park nearby, and I would always go there, and I would feel comforted by this park. Whenever I was studying and I needed to take a breath, there was the park. Well, you can imagine when I opened up the poetry collection and found Ellis Park, here was Helen writing this back over 100 years ago, and it resonated with me because it's exactly what I felt. So, Sarah, would you do the honor of beginning the poem?
I would love to. Sneak peek at reading this, and I have to say I engaged with this really well as well. So let me start it, and then you'll finish it? Okay. Ellis Park. Little park that I pass through, I carry off a piece of you. Every morning hurrying down to my workday in the town, carry you for country there to make the city ways more fair. I take your trees and your breeze, your greenness, your cleanness, some of your shade, some of your sky, some of your calm, as I pass by.
Your flowers to trim the pavement grim, your space for room in the jostled street, and grass for carpet to my feet. Your fountains take and sweet birds call to sing me from my office walls. All that I can see, I carry off with me. But you never miss my theft, so much treasure you have left. As I find you fresh at morning, so I find you home returning. Nothing lacking from your grace, all your riches wait in place for me to borrow on the morrow. Do you hear this praise of you, little park that I pass through?
What a beautiful poet. And I have to say, the themes that come out of this poem are remarkable, because I think that we often miss in our everyday life, living in a city, that which is around us, the beauty that's around us. And I love that little phrase where it says, and there's no theft, and it'll be there for tomorrow. It's beautiful because we just have to accept it. And it gives freely.
It does. And the reason why we're out here today is because we are surrounded by a park. Sarah, I am so glad that we had this moment with A Girl in the City by Helen Hoyt. Thank you to a wonderful granddaughter who sent this to me. This is a treasure to me.
It is. It is.
Isn't it beautiful? It's just so well done.
In its simplicity, it really speaks to the message within the pages. And I can't wait to dig into some of the other poems within this book. I think you're going to find that the treasure grows immensely as we delve into her work. What an extraordinary woman.
She was, and there is so much that we want to share with you. So do come back to meet up with Sarah and me on the book dialogue with Helen. I feel like she's a Helen to me now.
Yeah, the poetry reveals so much of the poet's heart. And I feel that she has really shared herself on the pages, and we are anticipating sharing those experiences with you as well.
What I also wanted to add is this is a young woman who wrote this. And here we are. We're not as young as she was when we read this.
Just a little bit.
But the words are real. The words touch us, and the sunshine comes down.
Glorious.
And we are in a park. Thanks for joining us on the book dialogue. So until next time we meet,
Have a beautiful day.